Welcome to ZI classes. Today I will be discussing one of the most famous personality in the history of English literature, that is Geoffrey Chaucer. The period between 1343 to 1450 is known as the Age of Chaucer, and it was an age of transition. This age saw a shift from the medieval age to the modern times. If we look at the background of this period, then it comprises of three major events. The first is the Hundred Year Wars, the second is the Great Black Famine or the Black Death, and the third is the Peasants' Revolt. 100 ईयर वॉर में क्या हो रहा था कि ये जो भी पीरियड था डैट इज़ ऑफ 100 ईयर, यहाँ कॉन्टीन्यूसली वॉर चल रहे थे किसके बीच में, डैट इज़ बिटवीन द इंग्लैंड एंड द फ्रांस, इसीलिए इसको क्या बोले 100 ईयर वॉर. दूसरा क्या था इवेंट, द ग्रेट ब्लैक फेमिन और द ब्लैक डेथ. एक फेमिन ऐसा आया विच जस्ट इन 5 years किल 1/3 ऑफ द यूरोपियन पॉपुलेशन, और ये 3 बार ही आया था. A famine that occurred thrice, and in just 5 years it killed almost 1/3 of the European population. The third events was the Peasants' Revolt. क्या था, फेमिन के चलते पीजेंट्स पहले से बेचारे परेशान थे और बहुत सारे पीजेंट्स मर रहे थे, लेकिन उसी टाइम पे क्या था, 100 ईयर वॉर वॉज ऑल्सो गोइंग पैरेलली. तो जो नोबल मैन थे वो कॉन्टीन्यूसली पुश कर रहे थे पीजेंट्स को कि भाई तू हायर टैक्स दे, क्यों, टू फंड द वॉर. तो अब पीजेंट्स पहले से फेमिन से मारे हुए थे, अब इनको ज़्यादा पैसा भी देना था जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ फंडिंग ऑफ द वॉर. तो क्या हुआ, द पीजेंट्स स्टार्टेड रेबेलियन दैट केम टू बी नोन एज द पीजेंट्स रिवॉल्ट. सो दीज वर बेसिकली द थ्री background of this age, that is the age of Chaucer. Chaucer, a great writer who is not only of an age but of all the ages. Though it has been confined that the year from 1343 to 1450 is the age of Chaucer, but even today in 2023 we are studying Chaucer. This is the thing that this person has achieved in his life, and I am feeling very fortunate that I am able to make a video on such great personality. So Chaucer was born in the year 1343 and was an English poet and an author, and he is known as the father of English literature or the father of English poetry. This is very important from exam point of view, that Chaucer was known as the father of English literature or the father of English poetry. And this man has set up big impact in the field of English literature कि एक पूरा एज उनके नाम पे आया. तो आप समझ जाओ कि कितना इम्पैक्ट रहा होगा इनका इन इंग्लिश लिटरेचर. चॉसर 100 ईयर वॉर्स में पार्टिसिपेट किए थे एंड ही वेंट अराउंड मेनी एक्सप्लोरेशन. वो इतने ज़्यादा आदमी से मिले, किसी का पर्सपेक्टिव जाने, अपना पर्सपेक्टिव किसी को दिए, एंड ही वॉज लाइक सो मच involved in all these things that he ended up writing one of his most famous work, that is the Canterbury Tales. If apart from the Canterbury Tales, if you look at one of the most famous works, then it includes Parliament of Fools, Troilus and Cressida, The Legends of Good Women, The Book of the Duchess, and then came the famous The Canterbury Tales, which is a poem, not a prose. There is a lot much confusion, that is Canterbury Tales a poem or a prose. So it is a collection of poetry in which different pilgrims were coming together and going to the shrine of Thomas Becket, and each pilgrim will have to narrate 4 stories. So there were 30 pilgrims and each have to narrate 4 stories, 2 while going and 2 while coming back. So 30 into 4, that is comprises of 120 stories, but in between Chaucer dies, और जो work था that remain incomplete, and only 24 stories were written. If we look at some additional point regarding the life of Chaucer, then Chaucer was born in the reign of Edward III, lived through that of Richard II, and died the year after Henry IV ascended the throne. So from 1343 to 1450, 3 king आए और गए, but Chaucer was remaining there. And Chaucer inspired a lot of other writers in the years to come. Bunch of few writers were so much inspired by the writing style of Chaucer that they were known as Scottish Chaucerians. These were the writers who were writing after Chaucer, and they were imitating Chaucer in almost exact form. इसीलिए तो इनको क्या बोला गया, दैट इज द स्कॉटिश चॉसेरियंस. I will make another video on Scottish Chaucerians. And if you look at the other poets and writers in this period, then it includes John Barber, William Langland, and John Wycliffe, who was the contemporary of Chaucer. Finally, Chaucer dies and is buried at Westminster Abbey, the first poet buried in the Poets' Corner. This is also a very important point. And till date, almost more than 3000 people are buried at Westminster Abbey. So this is all about the age of Chaucer that goes from 1343 to 1400. And hope you have liked the video. Thank you.